Hey, 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 hey. Hey, Miss Shirley. How are you, sweet pea? Doing all right? Has spring sprung yet in Chicago? It sure has here. It sure has here. Whew. I'm loving it, but I was outside today and this afternoon after work, and my eyes. Oh yeah, it was 70, about 75 here today too, and my eyes are just itching like crazy now. Figure out which chapters I'm supposed to read. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. 24 and 25 is what I thought, but I want to make sure. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but my eyeballs were itching like crazy. And the other day, I forgot to take my allergy medicine. Woke up the next morning and I couldn't hardly stand my glasses on my face. Sure, it is here. Everything is green. That pretty spring green, including the pollen. Green everywhere. Vincey's home. She came home this morning or last night. So her and Audrey should be getting on here pretty soon. Need to remind Jackie what time it is. Yeah, she's feeling a lot better. She has something wrong with her that flares up a couple of times a year, and she has to go in the hospital to get antibiotics for it. So she's good. She'll be all right for a while longer now. Poor thing. A lot of male voices in here. I don't know what this is going to sound like tonight. I'm still trying to figure out who everybody is and what all they're doing in this thing. I think it's gonna be a good book. It's a paranormal, and I really haven't read that much of it. Um, but I'm gonna be reading chapters 24 and 25, and it seems like it's gonna be pretty good. Um, what little bit I did read, but there's a lot of male voices in here, and I don't know who everybody is. I don't think it's a reverse harem though, unfortunately. Um, I really don't know the paranormal angle of it. Don't know if it's a witch or shifters or vampires or what. I don't know, but it's well written that I've what little bit I've read so far, so it's pretty good. This is the book one in the series. Plug my phone back up before it tries. So which romance book? Which one you anxious for, Missy? Oh, the 12-month series. Yeah, I think I read it next week. You getting hooked on that Michael James stuff, aren't you? Are you reading them? I haven't read them all. Haven't finished one yet. Let's put it that way. Let's see here. There. Oh my gosh, the Boxcar Children. I remember that. Jackie! It's about time you showed up. You beat both my other bitches here. Neither one of them showed up yet. Seriously. The Hope Legacy series. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay. There's Vincy. Uh-oh. It's because it missed you. It's all right. Orly ain't here yet either. Who knows where she's at? Have you talked to her? It's kissing you off or pissing you off? Miss Shirley, this is way the blurb reads for the book. Okay. How far would you go to protect a secret that causes the dark supernatural world to hunt you? Who would you hurt to prevent a prophecy from wiping out everyone on the planet? When Nadia Waterford, defender of humankind and self-declared badass, is sent to investigate a series of kidnappings, she's forced to step into the world of the arrogant Arkin Reinhardt. She soon becomes entangled in a fight for both the human race and her own life. The rules are simple. Everybody's a threat. Everything you read might be false, and above all, protect your heart. 18 plus due to mature scenes. This is book 1 in a trilogy. It ends in a cliffhanger, and there's a trigger warning. This is a scene of assault that some may find triggering. Whoop, whoop. So, we need to see what this is all about. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and get started, everybody, and we'll see where it goes. The author has asked that I read chapters 24 and 25. Chapter 24 is really long. We'll see where I'm at the end of that, and as to whether or not I will get around to reading 25. She has a little quote here, and I love them because they're about a Taurus, and I am a full-blooded Taurus, y'all. Nadia, don't let the calm Taurus fool you into thinking they are harmless. When provoked, they are like an atomic bomb. The definition of procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing something. And given that the outfits in my wardrobe have been mocking me for over 20 minutes, it appears it's a new personality trait of mine. and I am a very big procrastinator. On the subject of Arkin Reinhardt, my heart, head, and body are in conflict. Self preservation screams I should stay far, far away. My heart scrambles to keep its walls firm while my body has simply gone rogue, constantly demanding attention. I grab a mid length, pale gray skirt, a soft pink cashmere sweater, and gray knee high suede boots, leaving my hair down. All right, there are a lot of male voices in here, and I don't know who everybody is because I haven't read up on them. So I'm going to be all over the place with these male voices. So just get ready. I may get them all screwed up before it's over with. You don't have to do this, Duncan shouts from outside my closet door as I dress. I sigh. We've been through this. I don't go, and he not only stops working with us, he works against us. Pulling up on my door, I met with a wall of folded arms and pissed faces. Even Aiden is demonstrating he's no wallflower. Z drops his arms, then runs a hand over the back of his neck. I don't like it. I cough. Nobody likes it, but mind games are Arkin's MO. I don't think he's playing mind games, Nadia. I think he wants you plain and simple. Sighing, I grab my bag and check my phone is fully charged. Aiden plucks it from my fingers and begins tapping on it. It'll be okay, guys. It's just it'll be it's one date. Until he tricks you into another, Z mutters. Not happening. Aiden hands me my phone back. I've activated a tracking app on your phone. We'll be able to find you anywhere. Duncan wraps me in a big hug. You call us if you're in trouble or want to come home early. Then they launch into a set of rules and a pep talk that causes my eyes to roll several times. I almost expect them to give me the birds and the bees conversation. Z's version would be interesting. At 7:10, we squeeze into the elevator. It seems they've decided to come intimidate my date. Z studies me. Did you wear that entire outfit? Groaning, I smack him over the head. Stop thinking about my underwear, he huffs. It's not me I'm worried about. He slips his hand through the crook of my arm. Pulling me close as we step into the lobby. When a woman wears matching underwear to a date, it's because they've already decided to show it. I swat him over the head again. It can't be because it makes me feel sexy. Now, shh. I need to get my head around the next few hours, and you talking about my underwear isn't helping. I let go of Z and take several slow breaths. Remember, he blackmailed you, and you're pissed at him. Also, he's an arrogant asshole who looks down on you. Pep talk given, I feel better until I look at him. Wearing dark blue jeans and a gray cashmere sweater. He looks like he stepped out of a GQ magazine. His blonde hair hangs in loose waves around his relaxed shoulders. His eyes trace every curve of my body, and despite my lack of it, well, there she be. She decided to show up. His eyes trace every curve of my body, and despite my lack of exposed skin, I feel stripped naked by his gaze. I give it a slow twirl. Do I meet your satisfaction, Mr. Reinhardt? I aim for contrite, but it comes off a bit flirty. I'm going to have a sore hand from many mental slaps tonight. He grins. You are perfect, Miss Waterford. I forget I have 3 surly men at my back until Duncan's arm brushes mine. He crosses his arms in a cliche of Big Brother warning. Herder, and I will hunt you down and kill you. Okay, then. No room for misunderstandings. Arkin tips his head in acknowledgement. I have no intention of hurting her. Z jumps in with his big brother boots, aiming for maximum embarrassment. You will not lay one hand on her, sexual or otherwise. I clench my fist and pivot on my heel to face Z. Did you make sure to put condoms in my purse just in case? I snap. He huffs and puffs out his chest. I have my hand. I wave my hand and mutter. Good night, guys. Aiden shouts one last instruction. Have her home by midnight, Reinhardt. He chuckles. I wasn't aware you were Cinderella. I grin. Does that make you Prince Charming? Eyes hooded, he gives me a sinful look. No, Nadia, I am anything but a fairy tale. I do seduction, sin, and sex well, but I am not a nice man. My skin heats up in contrast to the calm, chilly evening. The lack of limo makes me search the street. He strides toward a black Audi R8 and opens the passenger door. I inspect the car. Fast, sleek, with a lot of attitude and unmistakable quality. He arches an eyebrow in challenge. He must think I'm contemplating running. I was deciding if the car suits you. I settle myself into the seat and turn on the radio. Rihanna's S&M blasts through the car. I crack up laughing as he climbs into the seat to what will now become his tagline. Cause I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. He slides a glance my way, and I wave my hand at him, indicating he should drive. Shaking his head, he pulls out into traffic, revving the engine. My grin widens. What are you, 17? One side of his mouth quirks. I assure you, I'm not 17 in any way. My driving, my actions, or my intentions. One, I study his profile in the city lights flashing by through the windows. And your intentions are what exactly? He glances at me. To break 2 of your surrogate brother's warnings. He pauses, and I won't be hurting you. I blush, praying the angels are in my corner tonight as I beg for the strength to not make stupid decisions. You're planning on making me late? A little presumptuous. My phone's on a timer to play a fake call, which will require my immediate attention at home. Hey, Miss Karen. He laughs out loud. I never know what you're going to say. I shrink in my seat a little. I know I'm a bit quirky. Some might say weird, but to have it pointed out to you on a date, his hand touches mine on my lap, snapping me out of my pity party monologue. He glances at me without slowing the car. He frowns as his thumb runs across my knuckles. It was meant as a compliment. Predictable, superficial, and fake are now the norm. You are honest, you surprise me, and you make me laugh. I've not done that in a long time. You have already given me a gift no one else can. He pulls his attention back to the road and his hand back on the steering wheel. A muscle jumps in his jaw as I stare at him, at a loss for words. What am I supposed to do with that? We head east to an unfamiliar area of the city. Where are we going for dinner? I ask, suspicious. It's a surprise, but we are going somewhere else first. My head snaps to face him. I only agreed to dinner. He shakes his head. Relax. You will enjoy it. Anyway, it's a date. My thoughts filter through the conversation at the diner. No, I only agreed to dinner. He chuckles. Last night you told me we would be back you would be back for our date. I assumed you meant it. I blush and fold my arms over my chest. I cannot be held accountable for my actions last night. He slows down to take a small road to the right. We wind down a few streets and finally he turns onto a dirt track. The street lights disappear and I only catch glimpses of trees where the car headlights shine like a torch. He pulls into a makeshift parking lot lit by lanterns hanging from the trees that create a path to a small building. Jumping out, he rounds the car, opens the door, and offers me his hand, which I take. Thick trees surrounding us in every direction. This isn't where we play hide and seek in the dark and one of us dies, right? It's inventive, but I'd rather not have to chase you first. Kicking your ass would be so much easier if you'd take it like a man and stand still. He glances at my boots. I think I'll pass. Your heels look a little dangerous for ass kicking. I laugh, relaxing a little. A petite Asian woman greets us in the small building. Good evening, Mr. Reinhardt, Miss Waterford. She hands Arkin a key and ushers us to the other side of the building, looking a little flustered. You and me both, sister. I hope you've had a pleasant evening. She leaves us, hurrying to the parking lot. Exiting the building, my heels wobble a little on the pebble path. Arkin takes my hand, his warmth a pleasant contrast to the chilly air. My breath catches as I glimpse the unexpected magical wonderland spreading out before us. Trees decorated with hundreds of small orb shaped lanterns surround a large pond, and pale yellow light dances over the various statues positioned around the water. Fairy lights hanging from the trees ignite as I pass them. The scene is reflected in the pond, and lilies in various shades from white to pink float on the water, creating a delicate perfume that surrounds us. I glance at the I glance at Arkin, who is silently studying me. Why are they open at night? He follows my gaze. There are two types of lilies, night bloomers and day bloomers. He tugs me toward the bridge, kind of like panties, day panties and night panties. Like a child at Disneyland, I am trying to look everywhere at once. He pauses on the bridge, letting go of his hand. I lean over the wooden rail and spy a school of foot-long orange and yellow fish visible in the lighting under the bridge. Watching the rhythmic sway of their bodies, a constant dance I saw. Warmth engulfs my back, and two strong hands grip the handrail, trapping me. We aren't touching, but every nerve starts buzzing around my body, making me restless. He peers over my shoulder. Why the sigh? He whispers, as if 100 people surround us when in fact we're alone. I gaze at the fish, letting their hypnotic dance soothe me. They look peaceful, relaxed, lazy even. Their bodies move next to each other, never restless, enjoying the calm created by their closeness. While part of our world, they truly thrive in a world of their own. I place my chin on my hands and he groans as it pushes my ass into his body. Blushing, I straighten up, adding another mental slap for the evening. He chuckles but doesn't move. Do you think they're happy? He asks. Why wouldn't they be? Here in this paradise, they have no predators. They have a family with no complications, no worries about being hurt. Is that what you do? Protect yourself by living in your own world? He muses. I spin to face him and tilt my head. Yes. His golden eyes search mine. Don't you feel lonely living in your own world? Don't you feel powerless living in other people's? I whisper. He pushes a stray strand of hair from my face. It's a gentle, caring gesture, so unexpected. I move toward his heat, shivering as his body connects with mine. His hands remain on the bridge as he angles his face down. His fierce, golden, glowing gaze steadies me. I bite my bottom lip. I'm procrastinating again. His gaze falls to my lips, and my heart skips a few beats. He unfolds me in his arms, pulls me flush against him, and runs his thumb over my bottom lip, dragging it free from my teeth. Stop biting your lip, Nadia, or I'll bite it for you. Hard, he rasped. I don't comprehend his words until it's too late. I'll take that as an invitation to take the kiss you owe me, he mumbles, grasping my chin between his fingers and claiming my lips in a gentle but firm kiss. He runs his velvety tongue over my bottom lip, coaxing me to open for him. Catching his lower lip between my teeth, I nibble on it. In response, a low, needy sound rumbles from his throat. Wrapping my hands around his neck, I tuck his head closer. Fingers skim over the naked skin between my sweater and skirt, making me gasp. He uses my surprise to push his tongue past my lips and glide it against mine. A small moan escapes me as he caresses my spine. The kiss turns fierce, possessive. My back arches, pushing my breast against him. He bites my lip, pulling it between his teeth, then gently swipes his tongue against the sting. Powerful arms grasp my thighs. He perches me on the handrail of the bridge, pushes to stand between my legs, and lets go of my back. Arkin, I gasp, wrapping my arms and legs around him. A guttural growl vibrates against my chest as my core presses against him. He pulls his face away a little at a time, making me chase his lips to maintain the kiss. Squeezing my thighs, I trap him and grasp his hair to drag his head back to me. I devour him, demanding everything. His touch skims my ribs before he tests the weight of my breast in his palms and rolls my nipples through the lace of my bra. He swallows my moan as sparks ignite inside of me. An explosion of adrenaline and excitement makes me feel lighthearted and giddy. A pleasurable sting erupts on my scalp as he tangles his hand in my hair and nips at my quickening pulse, diverting blood to the sensitive spot. That hot, deep throbbing between your legs that I put there, it needs release. I can give it to you, he rasped, pushing himself against me, giving me glorious friction. I'm so lost in sensations that I jolt when the water splashes next to us. Breaking the kiss, I lean back to see two fish throwing themselves above the water. A nervous bubble of laughter leaves my lips. Guess they're not always peaceful. Spell broken, I let go of his neck and hold onto his forearms for balance. He slides me against his body to the ground. Daring to look at him, I find his eyes full of need, desire, and disbelief. His usual wicked facade is absent. He looks real, vulnerable. I blink. That's a little heavy for the quick and dirty fuck he's looking for. His eyelids fall, the fan of long eyelashes splaying across his smooth skin. He takes my hand, kissing each fingertip before nipping the final one, making me squeal. Come, you need to see the last part. Curiosity is a weakness of mine, but not being a cat, I consider myself not in danger, so I follow him. I unconsciously touch my sensitive, swollen lips. He smirks at me, making me yank my hand away. There's the Arkin I know. Walking in silence, I roam my gaze over every aspect of the scenery, studying the trees and statues that look like mini pagodas. Is that how you say it? I know what they are. I just don't think I've ever heard the word. He slows, indulging me as I wander from the path to skim my hand over the various bushes. I pause to stroke a flower open to admire its yellow center and deep pink petals. The sound of rushing water beckons me down a small path. Moisture tickles my lips as I walk through tall bushes and enter a small oasis. A backlit waterfall sparkles like an iridescent curtain. Finding a path leading behind the waterfall, I almost squeal in delight. The mist encircles me, dampening my skin. Arkin follows, and we sit on a bench in a small cave, gazing through the cascading water. The hypnotizing sound calms my mind from the kiss. This date is dangerous. Being alone with him is dangerous. Going to the restaurant with people sooner rather than later is safest. I stand. Okay, I'm hungry. Lead the way. He gives me a forced smile. Your wish is my command. I let him take my hand. In my excitement, I'd hopped, skipped, and jumped across slippery, wet stones in stiletto boots. We take a different route back, but it's no less beautiful. Settled in the car, I turned to him. Thank you. That was wonderful. What are you guys talking about? And which one would be Crazy Pants? Because, I mean, you're pretty much talking to the whole gang here. I'm beginning to think that myself. You're welcome, Jackie. Carrie, you're crazy. Oh, yeah, Jackie's definitely Crazy Pants, but, there's at least three others in here that could be, and Miss Shirley ain't one of them. Well, hungry is hungry. I mean, girls gotta eat. Settled in the car, I turned to him. Thank you. That was wonderful. His lips quirk in a small, genuine smile. Which part did you like the most? Smug asshole. We head back toward the city. What restaurant are we going to? An exclusive one. I roll my eyes. 10 minutes later, we pull into a parking lot surrounded by gourmet supermarkets. Are we stopping to do your shopping? I asked incredulously. He's already out of the car and opening my door. As I take his offered hand, he answers, we are shopping for our meal. You're cooking? Isn't it easier to go to a restaurant? We are cooking and easier, yes, but not as fun. In the supermarket, he picks up a basket and walks down the aisle. He looks so domesticated, such a contrast to his power image. I stop and stare at his back, taking the opportunity to admire his ass. And when she says she stopped to stare at his ass is directly where my mind went. Whoop. From shoulders to ass. Who needs anything in between? Whew. Don't judge. I'm a red blooded woman. He turns to face me and arches an eyebrow. I hurry to catch up. What are you cooking? I ask. We are cooking sushi. I shake my head. I burn water and I'm a terrible cook. Now, eating sushi, I'm pretty much an expert. He drops, and I am not a sushi person, y'all. I'm not against it. I just don't try very much of it. He drops our boreal rice into the basket and several other ingredients, ignoring my complaints. He'll realize within 5 minutes of cooking that I'm better off out of the kitchen. He asks what kind of sushi I prefer and collects the ingredients, as well as some Rocky Road ice cream. No, no, not Rocky Road. Cookie dough ice cream's better. Back inside the car, I make one last attempt at saving us both the embarrassment of my cooking. There's a little sushi bar a few blocks away. We could save time and go there instead, I suggest. He shakes his head. You can learn. Nope, still wasn't getting the point. You need to show me where the emergency exits and the fire extinguishers are then. He chuckles and squeezes my thigh. Trust me. I try to hold back my shiver, but fail. We drive toward Elliott Bay, the opposite direction of his private penthouse suite at Reinhardt and Hunter's headquarters. Where are we going? He grins. It's a surprise. After a 10-minute drive, we arrive at a harbor where several yachts are moored. I jump out of the car, not waiting for him. One of the yachts is lit with hundreds of fairy lights. I'm speechless. I love boats. The yacht is so large, it would need a crew. I gasp. Is this yours? No, I stole it. He deadpans. I whip my head around to him. His eyes sparkle with amusement. You joke. I return his deadpan face before scaling the ladder to the deck, not caring about the view he's getting of my ass. Inside the yacht is a kitchen, a large living area, and 3 ensuite bedrooms with an enormous bed in the master suite. I scurry back to the kitchen, not wanting to be caught alone with Arkin in the bedroom. His lips twitch at my fast-paced and flushed face. It rhymes, y'all. He's unpacked the shopping, arranged the ingredients, and laid 2 cutting boards next to each other on the countertop. Come here, he commands. I almost fight him, but decide against him. Otherwise, we'll bicker the entire evening. I stand next to him and point to the saucepan containing rice and cold water. Shouldn't that be hot water? It needs to soak first. We are going to prepare the fillings. You seem adept with a blade. I arch my eyebrow. You're giving me a blade? He hands me a knife. I trust you. We could do that one Saturday night. Not this Saturday night, but we could do that one Saturday night. You guys pick the book and I'll read all you want while we drink. As long as I get to drink too, because it'll get crazier as I drink. But Saturday night would be fun. We'll just do this little small party thing going on here. We'll call it something different. I laugh and he simply studies me. Oh, you're serious. He hands me an avocado. On this occasion, I don't believe you mean me any harm, but don't worry. I'll reassess on a regular basis. Cut this into thin strips. He prepares the shrimp. My stomach grumbles, and a few seconds later, an antipasto platter appears in front of the chopping boards. My mouth waters. Arkin picks up a prosciutto wrapped asparagus. Open your mouth, Nadia. I obey, and he places it in my mouth, allowing his fingers to brush my lips. I chew with obvious pleasure, then reach to get another one. He bats my hand away, rips a piece of flatbread, scoops up some pesto, and brings it to my mouth. This time I'm careful not to catch his fingers. I can feed myself, I mutter. He gives me a wicked smile. But would it be as much fun? I slice my avocado, cursing the slippery texture. This is like trying to slice a brolog's penis. He barks out a laugh. Are you speaking from personal experience? I shrug. Brologs' penises are on their faces. Removing it is the easiest way to kill them, but they're sticky and slimy. I mock, shivering. Not my finest moment. He lays out a baking sheet and we line it with seaweed. Then he pours us each a glass of wine. It's cold, crisp, and clean. The rice is placed on the heat, and we retreat to the sofa to share the rest of the platter. As I unwind the hem from off the asparagus, he asks, tell me about your childhood. How did it come to pass that your grandparents raised you? I don't react. It's something I get asked a lot. My parents left to live in Florida when I was 2. They weren't prepared for parenthood. So my grandparents offered to look after me. I barely remember my actual parents. They stopped visiting when I was 10. My grandparents gave me a wonderful childhood. I love them immensely. He turns toward me and props one ankle on his opposite knee. And your grandmother passed away? My shoulders tense. Yes. Do you miss her? Every single day, I whisper, glancing away and cursing the telltale stain in the corners of my eyes. He puts his wine glass down on the table and runs a hand through my hair before cupping my nape and studying my face. He opens his mouth but is cut off by the alarm dinging. He places a chaste kiss on my forehead, gets up, stops the alarm, then glances over my shoulder. Come, we haven't finished cooking. Sipping my wine, I ignore his demand. The next few minutes pass in silence, making me believe I've escaped the madness of the kitchen. If you don't come here, I will come and get you, and you will not like it. He pauses, his voice deepening. Then again, maybe you would. I hurry to the kitchen, not wanting to test his theory. I'm following his instructions to place the avocado on the bed of rice when I feel his hands at my hips pull me back into his body. My eyes widen as my body reacts to his hand gliding across my stomach. He pulls open the drawer that my body was blocking and retrieves cutlery. I look over my shoulder and glower. You could have asked me to move. He chuckles, the sound low and sensual in my ear. Yes, I suppose I could have. I'm not sure I'm going to survive the rest of this date. Releasing me, he startles me with his next question. You have only had one sexual partner? Why? My blood starts to boil and carry underworlds before he cheats, bounces around in my head, reinforcing my shields. That's what I forgot tonight was music. Vincy, you were late getting here and I forgot my music. Answering my choice of song, Arkin mumbles softly. He betrayed you. I focus on my avocado and stay silent, afraid I might prove him wrong and use the knife in front of me after all. It's been 5 years, Nadia, but you've had no more lovers. You're a stunning, intelligent, and passionate young woman. Why? I'm overqualified, I mutter, finishing the avocado layer. I wipe my fingers on a dishcloth, fold my arms, and turn to face him. He's wearing his serious face, so I provide the complex answer he's asking. I spent too much time loving the wrong person, or what I thought was love. I've not met anybody I'm willing to give that power to again. I want someone who will love me with a madness that scares us both sometimes, but not to where we fear it. I need someone to trust to unmask my every desire. Someone who awakens me, like you, my stupid brain inserts. Don't fall for it, I warn myself. I don't see the point in one night stands or half hearted relationships. I don't judge those who have them. It's just not me. I can't even kiss half hearted. I'll wait an eternity for that one person, even if it means being alone. He's staring at me with a mix of wonder and confusion. I sigh. I don't need a psychological assessment, Arkin. I'm happy as I am. What's next? It's his turn to be unbalanced, his eyebrows pulled together. Excuse me? I point at the food. What's next? We finish the sushi and slice it into bite sized pieces. I get my phone and take a picture. He raises an eyebrow. If I don't take a photo, the guys won't believe me. He adds a side salad to our plates and carries them outside. Following him with our wine glasses, I mumble about the cold, but when we reach the deck, it's being warmed by heaters and it's toasty. A table has been set in the center. Witchcraft by Frank Sinatra drifts from speakers set in the floor, and the twinkling fairy lights finish off the romantic atmosphere. I take the chair he's offering. Last hurdle, Nadia, then home. Jed mentioned your command of elemental power on the island, he says. Of course he did, I mutter, shoving a bite of sushi into my mouth. You didn't tell me you were a witch at the diner. I spin my fork in the air. It's new. I'm figuring it out. His eyebrows creep up. Excellent. I forgot 25-year-olds don't typically get new powers. If he wasn't curious before, he definitely is now. Congrats, Nadia. You're a complete idiot. I give myself a mental golf clap. Jed said it was a strong shield, not something new witches are capable of. I shrug. I'm an overachiever. I picture Jackie having this conversation now. He tilts his head and studies my face. How new is this power? I grit my teeth. This week, seems meeting you has brought out the magic in me. Ha! I continue to applaud my stupid mouth. His lips twitch. You think it has something to do with me? I shake my head. No, I'm just having an exciting week. He sighs and we fall into companionable silence, eating our food. The night is clear as I look up at the full moon. My gaze flicks to my food, around the yacht, then back to him. I point my fork at him in accusation. How did you get in my bedroom? He has the audacity to look confused. Before he can evade the question, I cut him off. That wasn't for you to read. It's private and a breach of my trust. He shrugs, dropping the pretense of innocence. In all fairness, it was before we struck a deal. But after you had been in my personal apartments and abused my trust. My mouth does an excellent goldfish impression. I stab a piece of sushi, pop it in my mouth, and chew. My heart trips over its rhythm as I realize what he must have read about him. Opening my mouth to explain, I pause. Light gold eyes stare at me with lust and desire. Heat flares in my body as I remember our kiss. Stop looking at me like that, I demand. A wicked smile breaks out across his face. You said that last night. I'm reinforcing my point, I quip, with as much dignity as I can manage. You're confused about the purpose of this little facade you have going on here. You can try to seduce me with words, food, actions, but at the end of the day, you want something quick and dirty, the exact opposite of what I'm looking for. Who says it'll be quick? I notice he leaves the dirty part out and huff out of breath. His grin fades. You think I won't you think I want one night? You're wrong. It wouldn't be enough. I'm beginning to think I should keep you. I tilt my head back and study the twinkling stars. You can't keep someone. I'm a person, not a thing. Semantics. You would be mine. We should do that. Yeah, I like that idea, Vinci. A shot every time. Yeah, I like the word thee. Keep me orchid. Yeah, I know. I noticed that, Karen. Vinci, shut your mouth. Drunk Nay doesn't need to be involved in this. I'll just stick with wine. I'm not doing shots. Otherwise, there won't be any reading going on. Let's see. Semantics. You would be mine. For how long? Until you're bored? See someone else that catches your eye? No one has caught my eye quite like you, Nadia. That should tell you I'm looking for more than sex. My head snaps forward to examine his features. The sincerity there is almost my undoing. My heart picks up speed. Is he asking for more? A relationship? The intense attraction is almost too much to handle, but not enough to take a risk on. However, if he's offering a chance at his heart, but if we do this, y'all, we're doing like a messenger call so that I see everybody else's faces while you guys are looking at mine. Deal? His eyes flash with an emotion I can't pinpoint. Fear? Then he speaks, snapping at thread of hope. I warn you, Nadia. My thoughts are dangerous and impure. The fact that I haven't stripped you naked and reduced you to a beautiful mess is a testament to my self control. When that snaps, you should be scared. I will give you pain with pleasure. Oh, it's him. I will give you pain with pleasure and unravel your darkest desires. As I control your body, you will shatter and surrender as you come apart in my arms. You will scream my name. I will ruin you for any other man, and you will crave the oblivion only I can give you. A violent anger courses within me. Apparently, he needs this spelled out. So apparently, Nadia is not Karen because Karen would be laying herself out there buck naked right about now, going, yes, please, here I am, Arkin. Yeah, I didn't think I'd have time to read chapter 25. Exactly, Jackie. That's what I'm saying. It's a personal thing because we're going to be drunk, and if I get drinking too much, I'm probably naked too. But I'll sit here and read whatever book you guys want me to read. You pick it out. I'll read it. We can even read this one if I don't care. I mean, it's just going to be us. I'm not going to record it. It's like a girls' night out, only we're doing it online. So I say we do it one day. One Friday or Saturday night. You guys can pick. Not this weekend, though. I got kids. All righty. That's all I'm reading of this one. I got through one chapter. I told you this chapter was long. It is $2.99 on Amazon or free with KU. Vincy can't drink for 10 days, so let's see. Let's do it not this weekend, not next weekend, because that's Easter Sunday. So Easter weekend. So let's go 3 weeks from now. All right, you bitches. Let's see what tomorrow night. What have I got tomorrow night, Vincy? I don't even know because it looks like Ori abandoned us tonight. She must have a lot on her plate. Tomorrow night is Love is Better Than War or Love Not War, something like that by Jade Royal. Should be pretty good. I think it's a shifter book. Karen, I will text Jackie and remind her, and you be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Shifter book. So Jackie, I have to remind you. So I mean, damn. I might have to create a text just for you two going, girls, I'm live. All righty. Go have a good evening. And be thinking up some books and stuff you guys want to read. I don't care. And I'll read until we're either till my throat dries out or we're too drunk to do any good, or probably about 2 hours. All righty. So you guys have a great evening. Tell Adaline I greatly appreciate her letting me read it. I'm going to read this book. It looks great. Besides, I might have to take Arkin away from Karen. We might need to fight over this. All righty. Have a great evening and happy reading.